Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start the separations for Frankie, and once we get done with this, we're going to throw it to CorelDRAW, print it out, and we're going to go to the press. So at the end of this video, you're actually going to see the finalized product of printing Frankie on a shirt. So the first thing you're going to want to do once you get into Separation Studio is bring the artwork in. Now Separation Studio can do all sorts of different types of image files, from JPEGs to PNGs, EPS, all sorts of different ones. We're going to be using a PNG today. And the reason why is because I kind of sized it up a little bit different, and when I had saved it as a transparent PNG file. So we are opening that at the moment. And again, all the separations have been done within Separation Studio. So what you can do is sometimes go straight to the press right here. Now I want to bring this down to 5 colors, so we're going to go over a couple of little different things here. In doing that, I'm going to show you some tricks and tips that I like to do. The first thing you're going to want to do is go through each one of your channels, kind of see what all is within each one. Now this purple, as you can see, has nothing in it. We're going to go ahead and delete it. We're going to go through each one, take a look. Okay, now the second little trick I always like to do is combine the gray and white highlight or white top together. Now if you do that automatically, you're going to lose a little bit of vibrancy within your print, and with Separation Studio, the goal is to make the print look like it's jumping off the shirt, and also to give you a really easy, quick way of doing separation. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually saturate the gray just a little bit to bring that level up. So once we merge the gray with the white top, we don't lose any vibrancy or anything like that. So I'm going to right click it, adjust the channel, and I like to bring it up to about 25, 24, 25, somewhere in there. And again, if you look over here and we go all the way back down, that's just a little bit, but that little bit right there is enough to really do exactly what we want it to do. So I'm going to go ahead and press OK, click the white, go up here to channels, I'm going to merge the gray. So that's how I'm going to do that right there. And now if you look at our proof positive, everything is all nice and good to go. Now the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to talk about this turquoise. Turquoise is a great color whenever you're doing a whole bunch of different shading and creating lots of little effects within Separation Studio. But for this one, I'm going to go ahead and take the turquoise out. And as you look at the proof positive, it actually takes a little bit out of the whole image. So to battle that, we're actually going to, again, saturate the green a little bit. So now I'm going to show you another little cool thing here. With Separation Studio, we can either click on the actual channel and do our adjustments to that specific channel until where we can see only that channel. Or we can select on the proof positive and right click on the green. We're going to adjust the channel, and we can see it in a sense in real time with all the other colors still on. So I'm going to bring this up to around 37 or so. Again, I'll go ahead and actually go all the way up. And of course, that's way too much. But you can see what it's going to do and with the effect that it's going to have with all the other colors. So we're going to bring this back down to 37. So it's brought it up, it's highlighted it a little bit, and again, this is where it was originally. And because we took that turquoise out, we're going to battle it by bringing this up. So as you can see, nice and green. Mr. Frankie is meant to be nice and green, so we are going to go on that. So I'm going to go ahead and press OK, which is going to save it. My yellow looks pretty good. I'm going to go to the blue now. With this blue, you can see a couple of areas, just a little bit of blue within this. Now, if your customer comes to you and they give you a piece of artwork that they've created themselves, and they're really adamant about doing, that specific piece, of course, you're going to want to go ahead and do that. Now, if you see something like this, you can call them up and say, I'd like to save you a little bit of time, a little bit of money if you like, and show you a couple different things. With Separation Studio, it allows you to do something like that, and it shows you customers that you really care and you want to give them the best product along with the best price. So let's look out for our customer's needs, and we can either show him what it's going to look like right now with that blue in there, or we can take out that little bit of blue and show him what it's going to look like without it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. And if you look at this hair area, you can see really the effect of it. So right now there is no blue. Now the blue is going to highlight that area once we turn it back on. Again, that's with it on. This is with it off. I'm going to go ahead and keep it off just for now. So we're going to go ahead and delete this channel. That's going to bring it down to 5 colors now. I'm going to go ahead and delete the turquoise since we're done with that. So now we're down to our 5 colors. The other thing is that we can come in here and do a couple other little things and use some of these tools over here. These tools are really great, and people need to use them a little bit more. It's really good for working with your different pieces of art and kind of help you get to that jumping off the shirt point. You've got your lasso tool, which is kind of like a freehand lasso tool. You have your polygon lasso tool, and then your regular selection tool. Also, you've got your saturate tool, your desaturate tool, and your eraser tool. Now, these selection tools are really great. I'm going to show you kind of a little demonstration here real quick. What I can automatically do real fast, we're going to collect this saturation tool. We're going to bring this up to about 50. All right. And it's going to bring our size up a little bit more. I want to bring these eyes out a little bit more. I think they should be kind of bouncing a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead, and as you can see, I'm saturating just the eyes. All right. So we're going to go ahead and bring this. And again, I usually keep my saturation tools at 50% hardness. That gives me a lot of control over them, and you don't want to have too much saturation on. But if you do, we can always come to this desaturation tool. Again, we're going to jump this up to 50 with the hardness, and we can bring it right back down if you like. See? So personally, I like it to be a little bit more. So we're going to undo that. And then if we want to, using these selection tools, let's say if we want to make these teeth brighter, but not anything else. So I'm going to grab this lasso tool, like I said, kind of like a freehand. I'm going to draw an area around the teeth. And you can either use your saturation tool and come in here and do that. But again, that would take a long time. Or you can actually adjust the full channel. And again, if I click anywhere, it's not doing anything. Now if I go in here, there you go. So this is what that selection tool is really good for. So we're going to go ahead and undo, oops, excuse me. We're going to go ahead and undo that. So now I'm going to adjust the channel as a whole. And again, we're going to take a look at the proof positive while we do that. And it's only going to do this selection area right here. So if I want to make his teeth a little bit more yellow, make them really yellow, we can do that if we'd like. So I personally like my Frankenstein with some pearly whites, so we're going to keep it right along that. So, but as a good little demo for the selection tool, this is a really great way for you to do something like that. If you want to do an area, but not anything else within that. So, great tool. Use it a little bit more. So now we are ready to go to print. So what we are going to want to do is save it. You know, I always like to save it on desktop here real quick. There you go, print art. Save that. And we're going to open it up in CorelDRAW real quick. Come over here. And again, as you see, you got this prompt box that's going to come up. And you always want to use the place and encapsulated postscript. You can do it as import as editable. Personally, it's a little bit easier if you just keep it as encapsulated postscript. So this is one of the ways that I really like to use it for. So now, as you can see within CorelDRAW, you're still going to see this black background. Now that's not going to print out, and everything's going to look great. We're going to go ahead and bring this up to 13 by 18. It's going to be the actual paper size. Make sure that this is nice and centered in the page. And I've also got some registration marks set here. So I'm going to bring those out. All right. Those registration marks on. Now, if you want to use the registration marks within CorelDRAW, you can. That's completely fine. I personally like using my own. Gives me a little bit more control over the artwork as a whole. So now we're going to go ahead and go to print. Select the print icon. And of course, I use Accurate when I'm doing all my prints. Accurate is a great program, and I can show you guys a couple little more things about that on a later video if you like. With the Accurate, it is going to be great for simulated process, any type of halftone images, and also works great with the Black Max printer. We're running both an Epson 1400 and an Epson 1100 here. We're going to use the 1400 right now for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And again, you're going to see one issue usually that's going to come up here. And one or more objects use a registration code. That's what those registration marks are for. That's fine. So we're going to go ahead and look at the separations. Print separations. Okay. And as you can see, it's going to print out each separation for you. So you're going to go ahead and apply that, and you're to the races.
So we just finished the Frankie print using Separation Studio. Now we actually separated the colors like I showed you earlier and then brought it into the shop and printed it through our press. Now we were using a Riley Hopkins 6-color 4-station press and 305 screens all around, including the white. The trick to printing that white is stirring it up a little bit more than usual. Okay, so once we brought it into the shop, we actually found out that it worked a little bit better in getting a better print if we printed the underbase, then the white highlight, and then the rest of the colors. You always want to go ahead and print the way that Separation Studio is going to tell you to, but don't be afraid to try a couple different things. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the print. So this is what we ended up coming out with. Using the Separation Studio program, 305 screens, and a Riley Hopkins 6-color 4-station. Again, that is with 305 mesh, 5 colors. Originally this was an 8-color design. We brought it down to 5 like I showed you earlier using the program. And you can purchase that program at silkscreeningsupplies.com through Ryonet. And again, my name is Luke. I'm with FPScreenPrinting. And as always, keep the ink flying and have a great day.